I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, get ready to embark on a hilarious journey with Virginia and Adam in Saudi Adventure, a comedic tale in the midst of the Gulf War. Follow the romantic misadventures of this Army Reserve unit as they navigate through the chaos of war and discover the true meaning of duty, honor, and love of country. We welcome author Samuel Bell to Spotlight and ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel. Sam, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, my pleasure. This is quite an amazing book. When I read it, I said this has to be inspired by some real life events, at least. So we chatted a little bit before. You were in the service, and I imagine that's the groundwork for this book. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it.
Well, I was the total inspiration behind it was the young lady who I used her name in the book, Virginia. She inspired me to write it. A lot of times in the military, you spend a lot of time doing just having a little boredom sometimes. It's a hurry up and wait type situation. But with that unit and the things that we had to endure by allowing ourselves to get ready for the first Gulf War, it was some things that transpired while we were getting ready and in the time when we were in country, and on our return that inspired the book. So it was quite a tremendous experience.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Mhm.
Now, you served in the Vietnam War, and then you went back and worked as a reservist during the Gulf War. Is that what it was?
Yes, I'm a Vietnam era vet as well. I was one of the fortunate ones who went in and toward the end of the Vietnam War, and they changed our orders and sent me to Germany rather than to Vietnam. So I don't want to take those guys' glory. Those guys sacrificed over there, you
Right.
know. Yeah.
Well, it's
So
all a sacrifice to go and
mm,
serve your country and leave all your loved ones behind and face danger and never know where you're going to be deployed or what awaits you. So we salute
right.
you for your service, that's for sure. For the
Mm.
folks at home, you told them a little bit about the background and the inspiration, but let's give them the big picture of what the book is all about.
Well, what it primarily addresses, it looks at some of the incongruences of war and what happens in the preparation as a reserve unit gets ready to go to war. Um, it also you get a chance to take a look at some of the strains on the families that they have to sacrifice because they're seeing a loved one go off to war. And it also causes you to think about the sacrifices that we asked our men and women in the military to put up with as
Mhm.
they leave, going to a lot of times places they don't know. They're placed in situations that are dangerous and harrowing. And in order um, to survive, it also teaches you how to deal with adversity. You
Yeah.
know, you can't. When you're living on the edge, a lot of times, a lot of people handle it differently. Some, get nervous, and some it brings out the best in them. So this is basically what the book entails. It allows us to laugh at some of the dangerous situations that we find ourselves in the military, and some of the situations that are life threatening. And it it shows some of the coping mechanisms that we use, you know, as as service people and as humans.
Absolutely. As they say, if I didn't laugh, I'd cry. So
Yeah.
laughing is a better emotion to have. And you did a good job conveying the lighter moments of this
Mhm.
journey. to the audience, and it is quite funny, and it makes it very, very easy to read. That's for sure. Now, you were in, like I said, Vietnam and also the Gulf War. Vietnam War, there was a draft. Gulf War, there was no draft. Do you think that we should have a draft back in the United States, or do you think it's better to have an all-volunteer army? I always feel if everybody had skin in the game, if everybody had a chance to be deployed, then maybe we would not get into conflict so readily, right?
Well, Logan, I'll just tell you this. During the draft, I was drafted toward the end of the Vietnam War, and I was one of those who protested against the draft, and I'll admit that. But once I went into service, and I realized, what it takes to maintain this country, I have since changed my mind. I am in favor of a draft. I think some of the problems that we're having in this country today could be addressed. I'm not going to say eliminated, but they could be addressed if there was a draft, because there are some things that you learn, and you only learn those things being on active duty. I think some type of service should be required for our younger people, to teach them a little more humility and a little more understanding of those who have not been blessed as we have been in this country. And that's
absolutely.
And I have 7 grandsons, and and 3 granddaughters, and and I know I'm saying this, and their parents may be a little upset with me, but I believe in that.
Yeah, I think we all need to have skin in the game. We can't sit on the sidelines and watch whatever TV station, whether it's MSNBC or Fox News, and say, yeah, let's go over there and kill them, when you're sending the sons of other people. Because your decision is going to be different if it's your son or your daughter. So, and the idea of, well, maybe not everybody is physically fit enough to be a soldier. That may be true. I know I would have been crumbled in a day trying to carry some of the equipment you guys have to carry, but there's other ways to serve.
Yes.
Like you said, you could educate people, you could feed people, it's not just kill people. So there's lots of ways to serve the country. Before we go today, just tell me what it was like for you writing this book. Was it a good journey back to good old times, or tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it was most of it was notes that I did on the while I was there on active duty in serving in Saudi Arabia. It was a distinct journey back into the past when I was putting it together. It brought back some memories, some that were painful, but it was really a good cathartic situation for me. It helped to clear my mind about certain things, certain people. It allowed me to take a look at that situation when it occurred during that time period, and being removed from it like 30 years ago. But it allowed me to look there and see some things. Some things I changed my mind on, and some things I still feel the same way about. But it was good. It was good.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad you wrote the book. It's a wonderful book. You have a gift for writing, no doubt. It is called Saudi Adventure. It's a comic tale set in the middle of the Gulf War. And it's true life experiences bring this book to life, and you'll just love it. It's highly recommended here on Spotlight. Samuel Bell, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Appreciate the opportunity, and thank you.
Absolutely. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time. This time until next time on Spotlight.